What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. You see, I rolled my eyes before I barely even started. So the Washington Wizards took a trip back to the Windy City to play the Chicago Bulls, the former team of Jabari Parker and Bobby Portis. And boy, did those two have an impact on the game tonight. I mean, goodness gracious. Jabari started out great. The Bulls were undermanned, so you expect the Wizards to take advantage of the fact that they're undermanned and the fact that they are such a young team, but they are a very young team, but they're a very talented team. Scrappy, I mean, just were just willing to do more for a win tonight than the Wizards were. Like I said, Jabari had a good game. He had 13 of his 15 points. My face always be looking ashy. He had 13 of his 15 points in the. Maybe it is ashy. He had 13 of his 15 points in the second quarter. But unfortunately, it was not enough for the Wizards to get a win. They lost this one 106. No, sorry, 120 to 126 in overtime. They lost by 6. I mean, for a second there, it kind of looked like they were going to get this one, especially with those plays by Thomas Satoransky and Bradley Beal in the last minute or so. That should have tied things up. Bradley Beal didn't have the best game or the best start. They were on him. Double team, triple team, the usual, everything that he gets every night. But he was able to still score 27 points. And for a while, it didn't even look like he was even scoring anything. I was like, wow. And then he ended up quickly putting together a 27 piece and then 7 assists, 7 rebounds. But like I said, it wasn't enough. Bobby Portis played against his former team that he was planning to be with for the rest of his career. He had 15 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. Bobby Portis was a foul machine tonight. I just didn't even see his purpose in being out there tonight. You guys know how I feel about Bobby Portis. You guys know no matter what he does, it's not going to be enough for me until he's come off the bench. So you knew that my criticism of him wasn't going to be anything. My commentary on him wasn't going to be anything spectacular, but Bobby Portis, ugh. Anyway, he contributed 15 points tonight. Foul machine, 5 fouls from him, and unnecessary ones. Like, come on now, that flagrant at the end, he could have just left that exactly how it was. Yes, it stopped play for a minute, and yeah, we were able to get it into overtime, but Bobby was unnecessary in a lot of moments tonight, like, super unnecessary. Again, he had more minutes than Thomas Bryant, who only had 15 and was snapped within a few minutes of being on the floor for his mistakes. 5.6 rebounds from him. Wesley Johnson ended up having 9 minutes on the floor. He had 2 rebounds, one of them a crucial one, so we'll give him that. Jason Randall with 16 minutes, 4 points, 2 rebounds. He did not have the game that he had the last time we were here playing against his hometown team. The hometown guy, though, Jabari Parker, with 28 points, 3 assists, and 6 rebounds, a season best for him. And also, can we talk about that free throw at the end where he tried to miss the free throw and go back and get it, but it's like, honey, you didn't even hit the rim. Like, a nice try, but that was just crazy. Like, Jabari be doing good, and then he just makes these weird mistakes. Like, he just does these strange, irrational things all the time. Like, he'll be going good, and then he'll just do something weird out of nowhere. He's a strange guy, and I'm gonna leave that where that is. Trevor Ariza out of the game early with a groin strain, I believe, some groin injury. 6 points from him, 2 assists, 2 rebounds in 14 minutes. Jeff Green with 10 points, 5 assists. And Thomas Satoransky with his late game heroics. He had 16 points. Oh, those dunks, those putbacks, you never see Satoransky really flying in for putbacks and stuff like that. that way, the way you know he could with that height and the amount of bounce that he has. You never really see that from him. But 7 assists, 5 rebounds as well to close things out on his end. You never really see as much from him as you probably should. So it was nice. It was like, okay, Saransky not ready to go home. He trying to win something, you know. Now the Wizards are now 6 games, um, 6 games behind for the 8th spot. So it's done. It's a done deal for them. The Bulls ended up with like 15. It was a lot of turnovers from the Wizards. I'm not gonna lie, it was a lot of turnovers from the Wizards, and the Bulls had 15 offensive rebounds and 13 more shot attempts than the Wizards. The Bulls just basically out hustled the Wizards completely, completely. Those young guys were out there, a lot of them fighting for a job next season, especially guys like Shaquille Harrison, who had 18 points, and 6 rebounds. Even though he's fouling the crap out of Bradley Beal every chance he got, he still ended up to score 18 points. Lauri Markkanen was just remarkable as usual. 32 points, 5 assists, 13 rebounds. The guy's clearly like a future perennial all star. He's just like, whoo, like he just goes out there and makes everything look easy. Robin Lopez, 8 points from him. Chris Dunn with 26. Antonio Blakeney with 2. Ryan Archidiakono, 7. Felicio, they have Felicio out there looking good, looking great. 15 points. Wayne Sutton with 15. And also, they had Timothy Lawawu Cabaret out there looking like a complete NBA player out there with his 13 points. I think it's a season high for him. I don't know if it's a career high, but season high for him. He wasn't like doing too much before this on the Sixers, but now he's over here just flourishing against the Wizards. Like everybody who has their career high against the Wizards or their game high against the Wizards, they be having everybody looking great. But ultimately, this game was a kind of a tough loss for the Wizards because they kind of fought hard in the end to take it to overtime, and a couple miracles along the way made it look like they were going to win, but a couple mistakes along the way took that away from them. Unfortunately, they weren't able to pull this one off. The Bulls just basically out hustled them, wanted it more. They were going in for the rebounds. They were there for the putbacks. They were forcing turnovers, getting steals. They were doing everything possible to win. They basically completely out hustled the Wizards. They were playing defense, hard defense, something the Wizards barely ever do. So you kind of already knew where this game was going to go. But so shout out to the Bulls. But another loss for the Wizards, and they're like 30 and 40 something now. So I think this is it for me and my review for tonight. We just had an opportunity to win this one against a lower seeded team that's down a lot of guys, down a lot of good guys, and they threw this one away. Just getting out hustled by some young guys, outplayed by some youngins. So, peace, guys. It's your girl Denise. I love you guys so much for watching.